everybody, I'm Alyce-Kay from Suffering Well, and I wanted to bring you a quick kind of pre-invitation. We are planning to do a study in a few weeks on the Stations of the Cross. So this is going to be a little bit different from what you usually do. You usually just pray through the Stations of the Cross, but we wanted to talk through this with people to explain what they are, to talk about each individual Station of the Cross. We're also going to be covering the first three sorrowful mysteries, because those lead up to the Stations of the Cross. We're going to do this for 6 weeks during Lent. So it's going to be sometime between February 22nd and April 8th, which is the Thursday before Easter. And we'll end our very last session. We will pray the Stations of the Cross together. Okay. If you're not familiar with the Stations of the Cross, these are the various places, usually places that Jesus stopped on his walk up to Calvary. And it's normally done on the Via Dolorosa in Israel, in Jerusalem. But a long time ago, I don't know the dates, that'll come out later. A long time ago, they decided that because a lot of people couldn't actually go to the Via Dolorosa, they wanted to have a way that people could do this in their churches or sometimes outside their churches by following different stations and having different prayers to commemorate each of those things. Now, why do we do this? It helps us to understand the suffering that Jesus went through. And for me, last year was the first time that I actually really did the Stations of the Cross. I was a little familiar with it before, and the year before that, I had done it with a group one time, but there was a lot going on in my life right then, and so I didn't really get to focus on it. But last year, through Lent, I really focused on the Stations of the Cross, and I have to say, it really helped me to understand more about Jesus' suffering. A lot of times we just focus on his crucifixion and we don't realize that the passion included all of the suffering that he went through leading up to the crucifixion as well. And there's just so much to learn from that. There's so much that helps us to understand how much Jesus suffered. There's so much that we can see about our own suffering through that. And that's kind of what we're about here at Suffering Well, is learning to use our suffering, our personal suffering, to glorify God. And so learning from Jesus about how he used his suffering is a really good way to do that. So we're going to be doing that. So we do not know what day of the week or what time this will be at. So you have the opportunity to help us decide on that. So I'm going to put our email address below, and you can email us there if you're interested. And if you're in one of my Facebook groups, I'm going to be putting out a survey about what times and days of the week would work best for that. So if you want to be involved in the survey, let me know. I can give you the information for joining my Facebook groups. If you want to just join one of those just to be in the survey and then drop out, that's totally fine. Otherwise, I think it'd be kind of hard to figure out from the emails, to gather all the information that way. So yeah, if you want to be involved in figuring out the day or the time, that's the best way to do it. But if you're just interested and you want us to let you know when this is going to happen, go ahead and write to us at our email address, and we will get back to you with that information. We're not going to put you on any kind of mailing list or anything like that. At this point, we will just be gathering information specifically for the Stations of the Cross. So again, that's going to be sometime between February 22nd, which is Ash Wednesday, until April 8th, which is the Thursday before Easter. It'll be one day each week, and it'll take about an hour. Kind of what we're thinking we're going to do is, and we're still kind of formulating this, is that we're going to have an hour of studying 2 to 3 Stations of the Cross each week, or the 3 sorrowful mysteries that lead up to that. And that should take about an hour. We're going to have an hour set aside for that. But then we will also have an hour afterwards for those who want to stay and ask questions. And those can be any questions at all. Even if you have, like, some kind of, if you think that there's something wrong with it or something like that, something wrong with the way that we've presented it, that's a good time to discuss that. And we're not perfect. so we're open to discussing that, but we want to set that aside for those who have the longer period of time to be able to stay. So this is a good time if you're just interested in checking out the faith, if you want to know more about Jesus, if you want to get closer to him, this is appropriate for Protestants as well as Catholics. Catholics are the ones who usually do the Stations of the Cross, but there's no reason that Protestants can't do that as well. I was a Protestant for most of my life, and I I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to be able to do that and be involved in this. So yeah, so let us know at the email below if you are interested in doing this or in one of my Facebook groups, which I'll send you information on that if you ask for it through the email. All right, I love you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the group. Oh, by the way, it's going to be on Zoom, so you're going to be able to participate. We'll probably keep the group fairly small. We don't want it to be gigantic. We want everybody to be able to be involved in discussion. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't like to put yourself out there, you can just listen. You can even get onto Zoom without showing your picture. So yeah, we're open to whoever wants to join this. All right. Again, love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.